Joe, hi, how are you? Number one, hi. You get on here so fast. Thank you so much. Cosmo Girl 13 or 359. Hi, how are you? Courtney, hi, how are you? Joe Leonard, thank you. Hi, how are you? Thank you for asking me how I am. I'm good. I'm good, and I hope everybody who's joining me today is also good. It's been a couple days since we've been together, and I wanted to make sure that we got together a couple of times each week so that we could listen, so that we can learn, and we can move forward together. We have, over the last couple of months, we were home together, Patrick and I. He's still here, but he's going to go back to his place in a little bit. My son Christopher came home from college just the other day. So now he and I are home together. And this home together platform has evolved really into together. The conversations are still with the helpers, the healers, and the cultivators of hope. And I think we all need hope right now. We all need to listen to those who are the helpers, the healers, those who know things that we don't know, those who can teach us, those who we can learn from, and most important, I guess, those who we can get hope from. Because I think, I really do believe this is a hopeful moment. I know many people find it an overwhelming moment. Many people I talk to find it a very discouraging moment. They find it to be a lot, and that's okay. But it's also an opportunity. It's also a moment where we've got to all find our way together and find our path forward together, because only if we find our way together forward are we going to actually move our nation forward. And so I want to thank all of you for coming back to join me on this Together platform. I'm super excited that today we're going to be talking with a true architect of change on the court, on the basketball court, and off the basketball court. Lisa Leslie is a phenomenon, an incredible basketball champion, a 4-time gold medal winner. I wanted to come on here and just talk a little bit about her. I'm sure most of you know who she is. She's a legend in the world of basketball, and but also equally important, a legend and an architect of change off the court, a role model, a woman who uses her voice to advance discussions. And I read a piece she wrote the other day called Dear America, and I really wanted to talk to her about it because there were so many parts of the letter that I just kept underlining and underlining. And I thought it was so beautifully done. I loved that it was Dear America, which includes all of us, and that it was so raw, it was so authentic, it was so her, and it really called us all. It does call us all up. It does call us all forward to move forward together with her, and with all people of color and with all people. And so I'm going to read a couple of parts of it, and she's going to come on and talk about it. I want to talk to her about why she wanted to write this article, why she called it Dear America. It made me think of when Kobe Bryant wrote his letter, Dear Basketball. But I liked that hers was Dear America, and she signed it, Lots of Love, Leslie. And Lisa Leslie, she said at the end. And oh, there she is. And so I want her, so knowledgeable and wise and good and kind. And I'm so glad she is joining us today. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
I'm great. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I've been following you for quite some time. I really enjoy your messages of inspiration. So when they ask me, I shift my schedule around, of course, come and join you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And I have followed you for years, and I was just talking about the fact that you're an architect of change, which is my highest compliment on and off the court. And Lisa, when I read your letter, Dear America, when you published it a couple days ago, it blew me away for its honesty, the rawness with which you wrote it, the love really with which you wrote it. And so I wanted to ask you what made you want to write it and why you first of all called it Dear America.
Yeah, I started writing honestly May 29th. So I believe all the days run together with the whole COVID, being in the house, teaching my kids, and they were on their last days of school. So I can't really recall specifically, but I remember the words coming to my head like, America needs to understand that as Black people, we're not resistant to loving everybody. Like our people, everybody's invited to our cookouts. We have a house full and we have, my closest friends are Asian and white and Jewish, and I go to Shabbat, and it's such a melting pot that I've been able to love, and my children love in that way. But I feel like every time we turn on the television, we have to keep explaining this injustice to our people. And it's really, I think what started me to write it was the fact that I'm trying to figure out the words to how do I explain this to my children? It's very difficult to explain to a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, which my son is 10, and try to explain to him what they're seeing, what they're hearing. And it's really started, like I wrote in the article, when 45 was in the office and calling people like sons of bitches. And my son's like, Mom, what's a son of bitch? And I'm like, what? Like, where'd you get that from? Just, the time where he was making fun of a woman who was disabled. And I remember my daughter saying, Mom, why would he do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And so all of these images that we keep having of us, of Black people being treated unjustly, and then growing up in Compton, California, and realizing I was a part of that system, from an educational system. I had gotten a 3.8 and was struggling to get into USC. And I'm like, how's that possible? Like, I'm the class president for 3 years. I've gotten great grades.
Yeah.
And not really understanding the system, Maria, that it wasn't set, my 3.8 compared to someone else's in, let's just say, Bel Air's 3.8. It's significantly different. How was I to know that?
So Lisa, when you wrote this letter, and I want to read a couple parts of it because I think it's so powerful, what was your hope, or did you have a hope that when you pressed send and you put it out there, did you hope that people would take away what from it?
I hope that you could see a little part of yourself in it, that you have either have family members that serve our country, that you either have a son who plays sport or a daughter and can see the moments when they're out of their uniforms, just hanging out with their friends, being kids, whether at times our children, the teenagers are sometimes destructive to property or doing things where you're like, oh, they're just kids. I wanted you to see yourself somewhere in this article where you can go, wait a minute, I could see that maybe I have, not being racist, because I really believe there's a small percentage of people who are racist. I believe that. I like to err on the side of love. I'd like to err on the side of that there's more good people out there, and maybe just didn't understand our perspective. And so I wrote it in a way where, let me explain to you our perspective on a daily, whether we have on our uniform, whether it's my husband who served, who went to the Air Force Academy, served in Desert Storm and Desert Shield. That man in uniform is revered. We celebrate him.
Yeah.
But he takes that uniform off and he's the guy with, he has flip-flops, shorts, and t-shirt because it's hot. Now he's just this 6'7" Black guy who's threatening because he's Black. Yeah. And so I wanted for America to see it from my perspective as somewhat of a celebrity who maybe I get a pass. If a cop pulls me over, I've gotten a warning before because I'm Lisa Leslie and I stopped and took a picture with the officer. That
really struck me, the part where you were talking about your husband dressed in uniform, revered, and he takes it off and he's feared. That I was like, wow, that was an image in my mind. That stuck with me. What's been the reaction, Lisa, to the letter? And then I want to read parts of it. But
yes, it's been overwhelmingly positive. I have received messages from Billie Jean King, from Chris Everett to Ann Myers, a lot of people that I really love that are in my phone that I would talk to anyway. But my real friends, that, you know, names that you don't know, have all reached out to me, whether they're just saying, thank you for writing it. It's actually helped me to understand better how I could do better, how I could see how I've probably been judgmental and not even realizing that. That's the purpose of it. I wrote it, Dear America, because I needed for you to see how we are hurt in some aspects, how we are begging for minimal appreciation and respect that you see us. We're not saying we're superior. We're just saying that we matter. Like, come on, you know, we're just trying to get to an even playing field.
Yeah, there is here. I loved this part. I mean, we talked about the part where you wrote about your husband, but you said our whole lives you wanted Black people to love you, to pledge their allegiance to you. You want us to love when serving in uniform, but when we're out of uniform, you throw us aside as if we never served and protected you. You want to love us on the grand stage of the Olympics, but you give us no peace or justice at home. And the other part you talk about in here, which I thought was also so beautifully done. You said you received many calls and texts from some of your white friends saying, is it really that bad? I had no idea. And you said, yeah, it's that bad. And so that struck me. And then you said, well, several of your white friends said, well, I'm really sorry that this is happening to you, but it's not happening to me. And it's actually so bothersome or worrisome to me that I'm turning off the TV.
Yes,
And,
this is all true.
Your call is, as long as it's happening to you and people who look like you, that should concern all of us, whether it's happening to us or not. And that we don't have the privilege, so to speak, of turning off the TV. We don't have the privilege of being in the dark as long as this is going on in the light.
And Maria, I can break it down a little bit further. If you imagine, you have brothers and sisters.
Yes, I have 4 brothers.
And I know you have a wonderful mom who's done so much, and I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But let's just say there's a family where one of the siblings is being abused by the parents every day. You guys see that brother gets different food. The parents clothe you guys differently. You see as a sibling that they are abusing your brother. Mm-hmm. Now you could say, well, hey, it's not happening to me. And as you grow up with it, you may even think that that's okay. But at some point, this brother is going to get to a point where he's had enough. He's going to turn on your parents. He's going to resist and possibly hate you because you did nothing to help and see the harm that he had. So we are all brothers and sisters in this. Mm-hmm. But we are that brother that's being abused. And I would say to you, would you watch silently and watch your sibling be abused? Or would you say, hey, mom, dad, hold on. Why do you treat him like that? He's our brother. Why do you treat him differently? Why do you give him different food? Why does he not have the same access as us? It's your brother. And so to me, it's so simple, but it seems so complex to others. And so I try to explain it to the people that I genuinely love. I'm loved because my mom loves. My mom will come and say, oh, Lisa, come here. I got a new friend. Friend, what's your name? My mom doesn't know the lady in the nail shop or the lady at the grocery store. It doesn't matter who she is. She's so sweet, and I'm going to give you my number. And so my mom loves in a way that she loves people. We have my family's a blended family. So maybe my perspective is skewed because I'm from California and maybe we're in this bubble.
No, I don't think it's skewed. I think it's right on. That's why I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah,
I think it's so, you drilled it down in such a simple way. You also talked about this kind of being, you said you don't want to expose your treatment of us, and this is a letter, I should say, to Dear America. You don't want to expose your treatment of us to the rest of the world. You want us to stay silent and keep this a family secret. And now really what you're saying is the family secret is out in the open. And what are we
out, Maria? Is the whole world participated. I said, so it's beyond out because the whole world is participating. And I think, and I love this generation, that the younger people that are out there in the streets, that all of us that are a little older don't necessarily have the energy to do anymore, but they have learned to come together in a way. They love Black culture and the music and the movies. They've come together in a way that we allow us to go back to that past. They're not. And I love them for that, because that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I can hear you. You were breaking up there just a little bit, but I think you're back. You're okay. Hello?
Okay. Okay. One thing, my daughter was 5 years old. Yeah. Hear me?
I can hear you. I think it's freezing a little bit, but just keep going, because you're like giving me goosebumps, which rarely happens. But I think the connection's a little bit funky, but keep going. Keep trying.
Okay.
We can't hear
I'll
Lisa.
try you back in a second.
Oh, no. Can you hear me now? Good. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. No, oh no. Okay, people say they can't hear her. Keep going.
Okay.
Lisa,
okay.
maybe you could hang up. Okay.
I was going to.
She'll call back. I mean, this is so, she's going to call back right away. But I really urge you to read this letter that Lisa wrote. Once again, it's called Dear America. And it's really so powerful, so clear, and so relatable, right? She did it in such a way that makes it so simple to understand. It gives you goosebumps when you read parts of it. And it's hopeful. It's hopeful, and it's an invitation to all of us to join in. And that's what I really loved about. There she is. Okay, you're back. Oh, please, Lisa, can you hear? Can we hear? No. Definitely going. Lisa, can you try? There, wait, hello?
You have me clearly?
Oh, there you are again. You're kind of popping in and out.
Oh.
She can maybe try one more time. Can you, how about that, Lisa?
I'll try one more time.
Oh, I can hear you. No, it's disconnecting again. Can't hear her. I know. I want her to. Look at her gold medals in the corner. Let's try to remove her, and we're going to hope. No audio at all for Lisa. I know, but we're going to stay the course. She's going to get back. She's an athlete. She knows that, we're going to just keep trying. I hate missing her brilliance, says D. Marin 69. Me too, because she's, what I love is her brilliance is really understandable, right? You can really listen to her brilliance and and understand it, which is, I hope we get her back. Yeah, I do too. And I'm assuming that we're going to. I'm counting on the fact that we're going to. But in the meantime, as I said, I just want her point here, which is another thing. I love that this is, so she talks about the conversations she's having with her own two children, conversations she started having with her son when he was 7 years old. He's now 10. And the fact that she said that she has to introduce her children to this reality at such an early age should not be happening in the United States of America. She also wrote, even though we no longer have laws saying that Blacks have to drink at one water fountain and whites at another. Oh, there she is again. Hold on a second. I was reading from her thing. Lisa, let's try you again. I have plenty to read from, but she's back. She's back. There.
Can you hear me?
Wonderful. You were about to tell a story.
I know, it's so crazy. Let me talk quickly just in case we get cut off.
You're good.
So my daughter was 5 and we were at the pool. We were at the community pool.
Yeah.
And she was in the water swimming. I was on the side and another mom was 2 seats down from me. So Lauren, my daughter, comes out of the water with another little girl. It's little girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. And she goes, Mom, look, we're twins, right? And I'm my eyes are open. I'm oh. So I was kind of oh, why do you say that, baby? And she said, see, because we're twins. We have on the exact same swimsuit. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You are so right. You guys are twins. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was like that moment that's how children see themselves. They never describe each other based on their color. They describe themselves based on their outfit, or the hair is lighter or darker. And it's just the beauty of that. If we could just get to the beauty of that in our country, where we're not basing everything on color. There's nothing I can do about my color. This is what I got. We're talking about things that we have no control over, and the innocence of children we can learn from. We really can.
Absolutely. We can always learn from. And I think, as I said, I really encourage people to read all the way through. You talk about being a young girl, growing up in Compton, living through the Rodney King experience, not thinking you were going to have this experience now. You talk about your husband. You talk about the other deaths that we've all witnessed. You talk about your white friends really not understanding this moment, wanting to turn away, and then you're inviting them back in. What do you want to say to those people who say, like, gee, I'm really sorry, but it's not happening to me. I can't really understand. Oh, no. Oh,
no.
There. The name, can you hear me? Can you go, Lisa? Then several people are asking me the name of the letter that Lisa wrote. It's called Dear
the idea
America.
is just simple.
We're going to post it in our Sunday paper. And can you speak? Are you there again?
Yeah, you can find it on the Players Tribune.
Yeah, you can find it on the Players Tribune. That's where it was originally published. I don't know how it popped up into I follow you, so I guess that's why. And so what do you want to say to those people who say, gee, this isn't happening to me? Oh my gosh.
I think we're past. Everybody plays a part.
Absolutely. Everybody plays a part. We got that part.
I really do. I think that. I know. I'm sorry, Maria. I don't know why this my IG is not really working that great today.
You said this is an injustice, and people who are silent is confirmation of that. You also say a big solution is voting for the next president. Vote for lawmakers in Congress this year and again in 2 years. Don't just vote in the presidential, but actually vote whenever it comes up. That's one of the other solutions. You talk about trying to move the needle by investing in businesses. You take your role seriously. You said in here, trying to be a role model, educate yourself. Lisa, you said you've been having really interesting conversations with your kids at the table, as have I. What are you talking about right now with your kids?
Well, really just addressing, I allowed them to talk in what moment and what's happening. And it's just interesting because my daughter is more, I think she's more empowered, and my son has more fear. And that's interesting to hear a 10-year-old say, I'm afraid when I grow up that they're going to hurt me. That's really sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. And it's sad as my son, obviously I'm 6'5", so my son's going to be 6'8" at least. I mean, he goes from a straight A who's so cute to one day you fear him just because of his size alone. And you don't know.
And I hope you tell him, or do you tell him that people are taking to the streets to make sure that he doesn't have to live in fear? Oh, I'm so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And I'm sorry about this connection that we have. But Lisa has said so many great things. As I said, she's an inspiration. This letter is an inspiration. It's called Dear America. It's a letter to all of us. being with us today, but for really her lifetime of work. I mean, you got to think about, you don't have to think about anything, but this is a woman who's won 4 gold medals for this country. 4 gold medals. I don't know if you could see them on the side of her when she was talking. A 3-time WNBA MVP. Really an extraordinary woman who uses her platform to inspire, to lift up other women, to pave a path forward for other women, and used her voice so eloquently in this moment to set the record straight, to tell it as it is, and to give us a path forward and an invitation to join her in that path forward. So I want to thank her so much. I'm sorry about the audio, but you know, it happens. But that doesn't impact at all the message. And so she was great here today, but you can read everything she wrote in the letter, which is in my story. And once again, we're going to put her up in the Sunday paper. I hope you subscribe to my Sunday paper. It's free. You just go on mariashriver.com and sign up for the Sunday paper. We'll put this interview, as much of it as we can salvage, and there's a lot in there to salvage. And I really thank her for joining us and moving her schedule around to lend her voice to this platform. I try to use this platform as every day, really. I try to use it to lift up voices of people that I think you can admire, that you can respect, that lift you up, that inspire you. And she's one such woman. So I was so honored that she joined us today and brought her beautiful presence to this platform. God bless you all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember what she said, we're all in this together. And just because something hasn't happened to you doesn't mean it's not happening to your brother or your sister. I loved the depiction she made of the family. If somebody in your family is being treated inhumanly, if somebody in your family is being treated poorly, you will rise up. And someone in our family is being treated that way. So let us rise. Amen. Have a good day. Bye-bye.